Alright, buckle up, Bat Buddies and Lego lovers. Feast your eyes on this awesome set packed with 6 different flavors of the Caped Crusader. And then there's this mysterious box. I honestly have no clue what's inside. Logically, it should be a Batman, but this box is suspiciously large. Alright, let's crack open this standard packaging first. As you might have already guessed, this isn't official Lego. It's one of those alternative sets. But hey, the minifigures are all universal and totally Lego compatible. What's really neat is that this little dude here looks super similar to my beloved Batman keychain, the one I spoke about in my video on the cheapest $10 Lego sets. You should totally check it out. Oh, and a little spoiler alert. At the end of this video, I'll get all our Batman ranked from what I think is the worst to the absolute best. But for now, let's turn our attention to this big box. It says ages 6 to 12, which feels like a lot for minifigures, doesn't it? The box shows a whopping 8 characters. But the front of the box only features Batman. Actually, when I bought this, there were 2 boxes. One with Spider-Man and one with Batman. I even wondered if there might be a big Batman or a big Spider-Man inside. You might remember my reviews of those oversized Skibidi Toilet and Ninja Turtle figures. I'm flashing some clips from those videos now in case you missed them. Go take a peek. But maybe this box is just bursting with a whole bunch of figures. Fingers crossed, they aren't all duplicates. But enough guessing, let's just rip it open and see what's inside. So we've got a few figures right off the bat. Captain America, Superman, an Archer dude, and our Batman, the star of today's show. This looks like a regular minifigure. So our collection just got a little bigger with these guys. Funny how they just threw all the major superheroes from both DC and Marvel into one big mix. Now I'm really curious about that second box with Spider-Man on it. Well, we can probably guess that it'll have the remaining heroes. So that would be Wolverine, Thor, Hulk, and Spider-Man. Although, who knows, there might be some repeats. Subscribe and we'll find out in future videos. I think I'll just build this Batman in this video, otherwise it'll be way too many figures. Well, look at this. I can't even open this little bag. Seriously, what's the deal? These things are supposed to work for easy opening. Alright, let's grab some scissors. Nope, too tiny. We need the big ones. Actually, for this stubborn little bag, we need a massive long knife. Just kidding. Of course I don't need that. And don't you go trying that at home. This is purely content for content's sake. Okay, let's see what we ended up with in the set. We'll take them all apart, and then I'll give you a full rundown and rank them from best to worst. So, right off the bat, we can see that we don't have 7 Batmen here, but 6 Batmen and 1 Catwoman. Oh, hey, look what I just noticed. The Batman in the middle was from the separate box. And this Batman on the bottom left is from the big set, and they look super similar in design, see? It'll be interesting to compare them. Alright, let's start building. The plastic feels really good, but as you can see, there's no print on the back. All the pieces fit together nicely, nothing's wobbly. Some of those Chinese Lego alternatives can have minifigures made from cheap, low-quality plastic with loose limbs. But check out this head! So stern, with just one expression, but the print is really well done, I like it. I wonder who this guy is supposed to be. Old Batman? Maybe it's that Batman who pops up in one of the recent Flash movies? You know, when they travel through universes and meet one of the most classic Batmen? The one played by Michael Keaton.
Who the hell are you?
The guy who lives here.
You are, and you're...
Yeah, I'm Batman.
Okay, let's put his cape on. By the way, I just realized the cape covers his back, so maybe it's not a big deal that there's no print there. See? It doesn't take away from the figure at all. It actually looks really good. I'm even surprised. Super sharp, great print, nice quality plastic. And the cape fabric feels good too. The only thing I'm not totally sold on is this texture at the bottom. It's kind of jagged, not very Batman-like at all. This is the kind of texture a Batman cape should have. And this one looks more like something a vampire or a bandit would wear. Weird, not sure I'm a fan. Although, as we can see, there are other cape designs in this collection, plastic ones for example. But we'll get to those, one thing at a time. Let's take a look at our built Batman. Alright, let's move on to the next minifigure. Another single expression and this strange bandana thing on his forehead. Oh, hey look, this one has a print on the back. You can see muscles, definition. Funny how some figures differ, even though they're from the same manufacturer. I wonder if the Batman from the box will have a back print. Well, again, the plastic here feels pretty good. Let's put this cape on. Funny, so the back print will be covered by it. The cape, as you can see, is also jagged, not cut in those semicircles. But I really love the helmet mask, it's so cool. Oh, wait a minute, his eyes turned white. So that's what the bandanas are for. They're supposed to look like eyes when the helmet is on. Yeah, you're right. Check it out. Let's finish assembling him and take a look at the final figure. Alright, next up we're building this colorful Batman. This is Zur-En-Arrh Batman, or Tlano, from a classic comic book back in 1958. There Bruce Wayne gets to the planet Zur-En-Arrh. There he meets the local Batman named Tlano, who was inspired by Earth's Batman. Under different gravity conditions, Bruce gains superpowers, and together they fight the threats on that planet. So, this Batman also doesn't have any print on his back. But check out his cape, it's so unusual. Plastic, stiff, it doesn't flow. Maybe that could be a plus in some cases and a minus in others. I think I actually really like this design, it looks more solid somehow. Although for playing, maybe a flexible cape would be more convenient. But you can easily swap capes here, there are tons of them in the sets. Okay, let's move on to the next hero in our video. It's Catwoman. Yeah, the head looks kind of creepy. What's with that scary makeup? Oh well, let's just assemble the whole figure. We'll see how she looks with the mask on. Maybe the makeup will look good with it. Look how interesting. Something caught my eye. The body shows a female figure with a waist and hips, and the background is lilac. I think if the inside of the cape was also lilac, it might look even better and create a more pronounced effect of a female figure. Well, the figure is already feminine anyway. Let's finally put on the cat mask and see how appropriate this makeup looks with the mask on. Yeah, it definitely looks much better like this. Although I still wouldn't say it's perfect, but the figure itself seems great. And let's take a look at the build figure. And next up we have the grey Batman. What a stern head with a fantastic print. This is probably Ben Affleck. This figure really resembles his suit in Batman vs Superman. I found a cool picture that shows all of Batman's costumes in all the released movies. Take a look too. It has all the Batman, starting from the very first ones in the 40s and 60s. For me, Michael Keaton is definitely the most classic of them all, in the most recognizable suit with the yellow belt. And my favorite Batman was played by Christian Bale. He has a more serious look. And the movies in general became more serious compared to Michael Keaton. And then we have the various Batman costumes of Ben Affleck. To be honest, I find those movies a bit too serious. They lost that Batman charm. And which Batman do you like the most? And have you even seen the old Batman, or do you only know the recent films? Be sure to write in the comments. The figure looks good, I really like the quality, but there's no print on the back. Though, the print on the front is very well done. Well, again, you can't say anything here is poorly made, the plastic is excellent, nothing is loose. Overall, a worthy set. The only thing is that our Ben Affleck here is without a helmet, without a mask, just with hair. But I really like it. If you want to play, of course, you can borrow a mask from another Batman. So, let's move on to the white Batman. Look, his bandana is black. That's probably right. It would be strange if there were white eyes in a white mask, it would look silly. So, again, there's no print on the back. In this set, only one classic-looking Batman had a back print. Here we have the white Batman. Generally, this is like a special variant of Batman's suit for cold conditions. They appeared in some comics and are especially common in Lego, for example in the Arctic Batman set. Overall, I really like this figure. Let's finish up, put his cape on, and take a look at the final result.
Yeah.
And the last Batman is the one from the separate box. And then I'll compare them. Let's immediately put on what I think is the right cape and helmet. Overall, the assembly of this minifigure feels a bit different. The parts fit together more tightly, and the plastic itself is a bit more glossy, like it shines more. Let's take a good look at this figure, and then I'll dive into comparing all these Bat dudes and at the end rank them from my personal favorites to the ones I like a little less. Here's my Batman keychain, it's original Lego. Yeah, it looks pretty bad now, everything's worn off. but I already mentioned in one of my previous videos that this is the most precious Lego figure for me. Even though it's so old, you can still see slightly that there's some relief on the back. And this cool 3D belt, I like it. But the figure doesn't come apart. It's a non-detachable keychain. So you can't see how the belt is arranged, but it's clear that a separate little piece is inserted here. And the cape here is also the right one, with those classic bits, not the jagged ones. So this minifigure of Batman looks the most correct. Alright, let's pit this Batman against this one. Structurally, they look almost identical. But this one has a brighter white print on his chest, while this one's is more of a grey. And the plastic on this one is a bit more matte, while this one has a slightly glossier finish. The camera doesn't even really capture that difference. This Batman has at least some texture on the back, while this one is completely smooth. Neither of them have any loose parts, all the legs and arms move smoothly on both. It almost looks like this one has cheekbones, can you see that? Actually, the camera isn't really picking it up, but there are very faint cheekbones drawn on this one as well, in a really pale color. Overall, this figure feels just a tiny bit higher quality. Just a reminder, this figure was from this set. And this figure, the one I liked a bit more, was from this set. I really like this minifigure that depicts Ben Affleck's Batman, it's really well done. This Zur-En-Arrh or Tlano Batman looks very unusual. I had never even heard of him before. What about you? The white Batman is magnificent, a great color. I like how the relief looks, very clear, the abs, the chest muscles. The set definitely looks very playable. Oh, I forgot to give this one his bat gadget. And we'll put one in the second one's hand too. By the way, the quality of this tool on this figure seems a bit worse. It feels like slightly cheaper plastic was used. So, this old Batman looks very epic, very cool, stern, like a wise man. I would say this one would be the leader, and this one would be the wise advisor. What roles would you give all these Batmen if you were playing with them? Write in the comments. And of course, let's not forget about Catwoman. She only looks good with the mask on. Without the mask, I really don't like her. What do you think? By the way, among all the superheroes, Batman has always fascinated me the most. A self-made guy, no superpowers, kind of like a unique Iron Man. Alright, buckle up, figure fans. It's time for the grand finale. We're gonna rank these awesome collectibles from the worst to the best. And bringing up the rear, in the very last spot, we have this classic Batman, the one that was in a separate box with Superman and Marvel figures. Now don't get me wrong, he's a legend, but a couple of things didn't quite click for me. The plastic felt a little too shiny, you know? And the paint job wasn't my absolute favorite. Plus that cape? It's got a mind of its own, always looking like it just woke up from a nap. So, while he's a solid 4-star dude, he's taking the last spot in today's showdown. Sliding into the 6th spot with a little sigh, it's our perfectly fierce Catwoman. I really like the idea of having a female figure in the mix, but honestly, the makeup just didn't do it for me. It kind of threw off her whole cool vibe, you know? But hey, what do you think? Maybe you're totally digging her look. Let me know in the comments. Seriously, ranking these has been a real head scratcher. They're all so cool in their own way, but this one also gets a respectable 4 stars from me, landing at number 6 purely based on my personal taste. Now, who's gonna snatch that 5th spot? You know, I'm still trying to decide. Okay, you know what? I'm going with the wild card. This eye-catching yellow and purple Batman is taking 5th place. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this figure. The craftsmanship is seriously top-notch, and the design is super unique and totally unforgettable. But I gotta be honest, the color scheme just isn't my usual jam. I'm more of a classic colors and vibes kind of guy. But the quality? Undeniable. This dude is easily a 4.5-star figure, but he's settling into 5th place in our little ranking adventure today. Alright, we've reached the top 4. Now, this white Batman, seriously awesome. Like, really awesome. Part of me thinks he could even snag the top spot, but I'm putting him at number 4 simply because he's just so unconventional. An absolutely magnificent figure, super fun to pose and play with, the plastic feels fantastic, and the paint job spot on. So yeah, easily a 4.5-star contender, practically begging for that perfect 5. But because he's a bit of a rebel when it comes to the classic look, he's chilling at number 4. And now, the moment we've been waiting for, the top 3. We've got the fresh-faced classic, the muscle-bound Ben Affleck, and the seasoned veteran. Who gets the bronze medal? Dramatic drumroll. I'm handing 3rd place to this fantastic older Batman. The detail on his face is just incredible. I'm absolutely loving it. Maybe more for the hardcore collectors out there, which is why he's in 3rd. Though he was amazing in the movie Flash. That's Michael Keaton, by the way. Seriously, go watch it if you haven't. And finally, the top 2. You know what? My heart belongs to the classics. So when it comes down to the powerful grey Ben Affleck and the classic yet super high quality Batman, I'm going with the classic. By the way, it got me thinking. Is Michael Keaton our ultimate classic Batman? Or maybe it's Christian Bale? Seriously, drop a comment and tell me who your favorite Dark Knight is. So there you have it. Our top 2 and our overall ranking is complete. And let's take a look at the final result. Friends, did you enjoy the video? Then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. We have a lot of interesting things coming up. And now, on the left, you can check out a playlist with other cool minifigures that I've built before. And on the right is a video that YouTube has picked for you based on your preferences. See you soon in a new video. Bye everyone.